Hey guys, what's going on? This is Blake the Snake. You are now listening to The Rodriguez Show.
Back at it again on The Rodriguez Show. Mondo in the mix, fool. Killing it over there.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, and we got another special guest returning. First time since December 2017. J-Taj in the house.
Wow.
What's up, man?
What?
Yeah.
2017?
Yeah, I feel like I see you all everywhere, though. So
Dang.
it's like...
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Life was very different in December 2017.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tell me about it.
Well, I was very broke.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still very broke.
Yeah.
But I was like living with family and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, so you moved out to LA.
Yeah, I'm living in LA now. But we don't tell my Santa Ana people that. I still live in Santa Ana. Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, since then I worked at a bunch of different places. I put out some music since then under J-Taj, but
so right now you got some new stuff right there. You got Herschel.
Yeah,
it's capital HRSHLL period.
Don't
on
forget
Spotify.
The dot.
Don't forget the period. Yeah,
don't forget the dot.
That's on Spotify. You can stream them. They're beats you created, beats sampling. It's very like atmospheric kind of thing.
Right.
What inspired it?
Well, I'm a huge fan of like lo-fi hip hop, which is kind of the genre that falls into.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've always played the keys like my whole life since I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old. And I really started playing the keys heavy over the last like 4 years. And the J-Taj shit as a rapper, like after 10-4, I've only put out like maybe 3 or 4 records. And making rap music has become somewhat difficult for me for some reason that I'm still trying to work through.
Yeah.
So I needed something else to try and like feed my creative thirst. And I discovered this shit called Splice. And a lot of parts like of production that I can handle on my own. I mean, a lot of the parts of production that I can't handle on my own, Splice was able to help me out, like bass lines or something. And so my boy AJ Alva, who works out of Overdraft, he was like, yo, you gotta check out this Splice shit, because I would hit him like, yo, I don't know what bass line to put over this. And he's like, they got like crazy samples, crazy sounds, because I produce out of Pro Tools, which anybody in the production game knows that's like the most trash place to produce beats because there's no like native sounds. Like in Ableton and Fruity Loops, you got sounds built into the program.
Oh, okay.
But not with Pro Tools.
So Pro Tools, like you have to it's all 100%.
Yeah, you have to like find sounds, or you have to like buy plugins.
Okay. So you had bare bones equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I come from like a recording background, like recording vocals and shit like that. So when it came to making beats, the most familiar space was Pro Tools. So then when I was introduced to Splice, I was
a whole new world.
Yeah. And then there's a certain special energy around the lo-fi hip hop market regarding like brand and stuff like that. Like I don't have to worry about outward facing shit. I don't have to worry about like how I look or how I sound. Like it's just about, does the music sound good?
Yeah. It's funny you say that. We have a guy come in here, Dot Uzu. He does same kind of a lo-fi beats, and he covers his face up, and he's never shows like pictures of himself.
That's interesting.
He just lets the music do the talking.
I fuck with that.
That's like
it's like and it's funny too. Like we off the air, we were talking about like making money and shit off of music.
Yeah.
What is over 6 years, I've been able to like create a following on Spotify for J-Taj that like kind of supports my living, right?
Yeah.
In a month I matched that with Herschel.
Wow.
And so it was like, god damn, like I doubled my income with these beats because people don't care. Like they don't even care who the artist is. If you get put on a playlist, which thank God for like Spotify playlists.
Because it's like those study playlists, right?
Yeah, like
those,
people don't
chill
care.
Playlists.
Like they don't care. Like they will never ask like who made this beat. They just want to listen to shit that makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Which allows me as an artist to like really experiment and do some shit that I can't do as a rapper. You know, like I try to do it and it's not the same.
Yeah.
But as a producer who gets to hide behind like music theory, Herschel was an opportunity to like explore that. And I got more like new Herschel beats coming out that are nothing like the ones that I just dropped, and I don't care. I don't care that they nothing like the old ones,
because it's just freedom to create.
I just do whatever I want. You know, and if you don't like it, the beautiful part is you like skip to the next track. Like that's part of the lo-fi culture,
and they're all different.
That's part of like the production culture.
Yeah,
you know, like there's so many people who listen to brass tracks and don't know that they listen to brass tracks. They just listen to it
because it's like on,
yeah,
you know, and it doesn't matter who made it.
Exactly.
You know what I said? You had freedom to put out whatever you want. Sorry, my voice cracked. Is it easier now to like be more intimate? Because I feel like these tracks, even though there's no vocals on it, I feel like I'm entering into a world, especially because of the cover art you use. It feels really personal.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Herschel is my dad, and he passed back in 2011. And so I've always like I thought about naming an album Herschel. I thought about like putting out a clothing line called Herschel. I've always tried to like figure out a way to personify him in art. You know what I'm saying? Like, or his legacy, like create some sort of vessel that it can live in and kind of grow through. Yeah. And the beat thing just kind of, it all fell together perfectly. I was supposed, like when I made Herschel, like the producer shit, I was supposed to be dropping a project called Herschel under J Taj. And I was just like, I told my manager, like, bro, we're going to change the project name because I'm just going to go by Herschel. And for a while on my Instagram and on my Twitter, it said J Taj / Herschel, but nobody even asked why, but nobody knew why. And it was like that for like a year before I ever put out a Herschel beat. Yeah,
because I saw you were tweeting about it in 2017, right?
Yeah,
How long ago was before that you even dropped anything?
Yeah, that was, I've been sitting on the idea of like the capital HRSHLL dot for a very long time. Yeah. You know, my dad spelled it with, you know, there was an E before the R and an E before the L's. Yeah. And I just took out the vowels.
Yeah. And stylized it.
Yeah, of course. But for sure, to answer your question about the opportunity to become more intimate is definitely there. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty honest in my raps music? Too. Yeah. But yeah, lo-fi hip hop beats especially are, you know, somewhat like sad records. You know, like every fucking playlist on YouTube is like sad beats to chill to and shit, like, right? Even though I have been making some more like funky shit that's like supposed to be and supposed to provoke more happiness, but nonetheless, like it is an emotional type of project. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the emotion, which is essentially what music was from the jump, which is why it's so dope to me, because I get to just be a musician. That's it.
And you're making people feel things without saying a word.
Right.
And that's beautiful.
But I do try to incorporate some sort of like weird filtered vocal sample in every beat. I try to, you know, I like find the key, and either I'll like on that Away record, you know, I'm in there just saying Away like 100 times.
But it doesn't, at a certain point, it just feels like another like instrument in the beat.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do for sure. I mean, I feel like even in hip hop, you know, the vocals in a rap record serve a percussive purpose. You know, like they follow the cadence of like a snare drum in a drum line. You feel what I'm saying? So if somebody's like, you know, fuck. This happens every time I fucking try to explain this shit. Like I suddenly can't think of any fucking rap verse. But you take any rap verse, right? And you take away the words and you replace it with a tick. It becomes, you know,
a song.
It becomes a drum line. Yeah. You know, and like when you sing, it's more of a melody, you know, like a wind instrument or a piano or a violin. You understand? Like the way it kind of like waves through the record. But with rap, you know, if I'm taking a Kendrick record and it's like, brace yourself, I take you on a trip down memory lane. This is not a rap on how I'm slinging crack or mook cocaine. You take that element and it's da 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 da. So you're using it as a percussive instrument. Most people don't look at rap that way, which fucking sucks. But
I never even looked at it that way. But it makes sense.
Very much so. Whether you rapping or singing, they're very much so another instrument. And I maybe because I'm an engineer, like. When you see a session, the vocals are just a fucking another waveform that you have to mix into this record. So
like a different wavelength, you feel? Like
absolutely.
A different frequency, right? Like
for sure. And so you mix it in the same way you would mix in any other instrument. Yeah. But a lot of people, ironically, like on that topic, a lot of, especially old heads who don't really fuck with rap, they like, oh, they're just fucking talking over records, but it's still a percussive instrument, you know. And people like Busta Rhymes, people like fucking Pitbull and Flo Rida are like the prime example of they're so good at being percussive that you don't even know what the fuck they're saying. Like they just fall into the record and you have no idea what the fuck they just said, but it just sounds so perfect.
I think Young Thug does that really well.
Oh yeah, for
Young
sure.
Thug. Yeah.
I mean, every rapper.
It's true.
Yeah, it's just a matter of perception.
Yeah. Wow, you're blowing my mind with this. I'm gonna look at music differently, a whole new way.
Well, good, man. Hopefully, it's in a better way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll be looking at music way too damn like dissective. Is that a word? Dissective?
Yeah.
I'll be looking at it too much like that, and it's hard to enjoy when you start like dissecting shit too much. Gives me anxiety.
I remember when I learned, like, when you're a DJ, you're counting the beats in your head. When I learned that, I was like, wow, I never know. And now you're telling me another layer I can listen to music.
It's so funny too, like how many rap fans will be like bars, but they don't know what bars are. From an actual music theory standpoint, like, it's an actual measurement.
Wow.
You know, it's like a real thing that even way beyond rap, all music has bars. You know. Wow. Kind of
think about that for a second. So it sounds like for Herschel, you don't have a goal in mind. You're just expressing yourself. You're creating whatever comes to you, and it's freedom. And that's
the greatest it's the greatest moment in my musical journey because it came at a time when I really just could not rap. I mean, I could rap, dog. I know you all know. I can rap, right? But I can't make records the way I did with 10-4, which is like my last and only album so far. It's just like when I get in the studio, it's not the same for some reason. And I'm still emotionally and mentally trying to fucking figure out what the fuck is going on.
You're creating some stuff in between that's still
which fucking actually feels way more satisfying than the J-Taj rapping ever did. But I'm not done rapping. I was just writing records on the way over here. But
that would be bad if you were done rapping.
I mean, I still need it. I have to be a millionaire, dog. What the fuck? I gotta I have real dreams, you know.
Speaking of another way to be a millionaire right now, you know, the industry of podcasting is very popular. Everybody that's done it is rich. I'm just kidding about that. Insufficient Funds podcast on Spotify. A place for artists to comfortably tell their story. We've created a relaxed environment without usual trappings of modern interviews. No gossip, no thirst for clickbait or aggressive testing of an artist's credentials. So do you feel that that's all the interviews are today in hip-hop?
No, definitely not. Especially not in the podcast space. And that's so funny that you read that because I totally stole that from another podcast.
You did?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I totally forgot I put that in there. No, like, shout out Kinda Neat. Another in fucking such an incredible podcast series. I mean, he's like, I think over 100 episodes deep.
Oh, wow.
And he did like some of like Anderson .Paak's first interviews and shit like that, like crazy dope ass content. But
kind of what we're trying to do here too.
Yeah, man, I feel like in the podcast space or just in the interview space now more than ever, you're getting way more candid, authentic conversations. I think it's just a matter of the thing that gets on my nerves in podcasts is like just basic like microphone etiquette not being followed. And I think that, like, when I listen to some podcasts, it's like, Jesus Christ, you guys are talking about shit that we can't see and shit like that. You know what I mean? And so for me in Insufficient Funds, like the goal is really to have a candid conversation with the homies. Like I try to have people on that I know personally because it makes the conversation a little bit easier. And it's just another content platform for me to fucking exist, you know, and like have the homies pull up and we really shoot the shit about anything. You know,
So right now you only have like you have 4 and you put out, but you've done it before, right? This is like you.
Yeah. I tried back in 2017. We did 1 episode. It was the first episode for Sir after he signed. After they announced his signing to Top Dog.
Wow.
He had already been signed to Top Dog for like a year and a half, which he says in the episode. I removed that episode just to start for fresh continuity. If I can get him to pull up to our photo location, because we take a photo set for every artist that pulls up, and it's almost like we're kind of like using this whole magazine aesthetic, right? And so they all have their own covers for every episode. If I can get Sir to pull up to that spot just to take a picture off a show re-release that fucking interview, but I can't, man. I just can't like put it out like that. But
you had some dope people on recently. Eric Young.
Yeah, man. That's
I listened to that one. Wax too. That one was good.
OG Wax.
Duckworth.
That's the bald dude, right?
Yeah, I think he's bald. Yeah, I mean he's always got a beanie on.
I mean, he kind of started like his younger videos are like with like Timothy De La Ghetto.
Oh yeah,
Okay, hell yeah, that's wax.
Timothy De La Ghetto, Dumbfounded, Anderson .Paak, his brother Herbal T, I think he goes by. Like he's one of them like the OGs from that like early DIY YouTube space.
Yeah.
He's tight
I
as
remember
fuck,
like
man.
hearing his like kind of like comedic / like real bar rap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like that George Watsky era. Yeah.
So how do you pick the people for your?
Man, it's like a whole lot of fucking text messages to anybody. Really, like I feel like it's not. I'm really not thinking about it that much, you know. I feel like maybe I should, but then if I do, then it becomes just another task.
Overthinking
you know.
it, yeah.
The only thing that I'm really trying hard to stick to is consistency. You know, beyond that, I've listened to so many podcasts that were not that mind blowing, but what made them good was they were consistent and they just kept coming out. You know, and there's
Shout out Rodriguez show 4 years,
for
never
real,
missed
man.
a Friday.
Respect, bro. I think that in my entire like creative adventure since I was a teenager, the only thing that is like cripples me is my lack of consistency. You know, from rapping, beat making, podcasts, fucking man, the whole way I came up, you know, to whatever fucking weird ass like gray area level I'm at right now was like being a YouTuber, you know, like being like, well, what's up guys, welcome to my channel and shit. Like y'all would, what the fuck, nobody knows that. I deleted all that shit.
I saw your like early videos of like rapping and stuff, like early like I remember you like you used to drop a track like every week or something.
OVC, man. There's another thing, lack of consistency, you know. So anybody that can stay consistent in what they're doing, like I know from experiencing what happens when you're not consistent and how much potential is wasted, that I think that with Insufficient Funds, with Herschel, with even with like getting back into music, it's just a matter of all I give a fuck about right now is being consistent, even if it's just being consistent in the creating process. If it doesn't drop, it doesn't drop, but as long as I'm maintaining like some sort of rhythm in my life, then I think I'll be straight.
And that's the thing too with these podcasts, right? Interview, you do so many of them if you do it every week that sometimes they're not going to be as good, but it's good to learn from it and post it and move on, you know? And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about podcasting in general too. You can't do it once every couple of months because then nobody's going to care the next time you post. You know?
Unless you're like super on.
You
know what I mean? Like if Drake just came out with a fucking podcast today, what the fuck? You know, and then he doesn't for like 2 years and then drops another one, everyone's gonna go nuts. If Frank Ocean dropped a fucking podcast right now, what the fuck? Everyone would go crazy. I think for me, like the thing I appreciate is it ain't no secret that I like to talk. And so on my podcast, I really do 50% of the talking, which is more of a rarity in like an artist interview series. Usually the artist does most of the talking. But for me, it's like I'm just trying to give listeners an opportunity to be a fly on the wall between two people that have these discussions off the mic. You know what I'm saying? And I obviously...
You are in the room as you guys are talking. And it's interesting stuff.
And so it's like, I don't ever have like talking points or no shit like that. The only question I ask every artist or every guest is, how did you get your name? If that's an applicable question. If it's their real name, then I'll still ask. Like, why'd your mom fucking name you Caesar? You know. And so then that's the beginning of the conversation, and it's whatever. You know, I'm not too worried about format and trying to follow talking points and stuff because I feel like then I would start to psych myself out, and that would end up being another moment where a lack of consistency, you know, comes.
And I want to get to that point, but for now, I got these bullet points.
Hey man, everybody has their own formats. I think for me, I've just reached a point in my life of like less fucks given in a lot of spaces in my life.
It's working out for you, man.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
So something, and I got a couple more questions. I know,
bro. Please ask me as much as you want.
So I look to you as somebody who kind of figured it out in a sense of, you know who you are, you know what you're doing in this music world, right? So what do you tell somebody that feels they're owed something but they're not there yet? You know what I'm saying? If somebody's like, hey, Jay Taj, I want to be on your show, like I'm the best rapper ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say to somebody like that?
I mean, if it's a DM, it's probably not getting a response. That's weird as fuck. That's a weird ass way to start a conversation with someone. But in the idea of like where someone feels like they're owed and they're not there yet, I don't think there ever is a there yet. No one is ever owed anything. You know what I'm saying? You could be the fucking biggest, most famous person on the planet. Nobody owes you shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that my biggest piece of advice is remember that nobody fucking owes you anything. You know, and I think that self-sufficiency and, you know, I think that everything I've ever created that has ever come to some sort of like fruition was a reflection of me not having people that, you know, gave a fuck. Was like, okay, nobody's gonna give me a look, so I gotta figure this shit out. I can't find no producers to be in the studio with, so I'm gonna make my own beats, or I'm gonna find really, really, really dope beats online, you know, and carefully A&R those to make myself sound like I am something more than I am. And that's all a reflection of like, nobody owed me anything, so I kind of had to do that shit for myself, and I'm still doing it for myself. A lot of shit that nobody knows, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still creating, I guess, a foundation for myself to be able to be a creative all the time, and I'm doing that in ways that nobody would ever know. I'm hustling, man. You know, shit the way outside of music. You know, and way outside
you're
of,
sacrificing a lot,
sure,
man. It's like you and Eric Young were talking about. If you want to be about it, you have to. There's a lot of sacrifices.
Right. I mean, but that's anything in life, bro. Like anything. You want to raise a child, right? You want to have like a really stand up child. You're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of shit that a lot of parents do. You know, like fucking handing your child a fucking cell phone when you don't want to deal with them. Like, you're gonna have to sacrifice that luxury if you want a different relationship with them. Sacrifice is just an essential part of all great things. All great things, like boxing, everything. I can't think of anything where greatness exists that sacrifice doesn't, you know.
Makes sense, because if you're not sacrificing anything, it doesn't really matter to you. Like, you didn't put anything up for stakes,
you could have just done this from the jump. You if you didn't have to give up anything or make room for something so great in your life, then you didn't really do anything. It was just there all along. Which, that would be a crazy story. I want to know who that maybe Jesus, I don't know. Like, who is that person that just didn't have to give up shit? I mean, Jesus had to give up his life. Goddamn. Shit.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about something a little less abstract.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. So you start some shit on Twitter because of this graphic you made of Santa Ana. I'm gonna let you explain it. What went down with that?
Man, okay. Let me try and figure out the beginning of that. Was some motherfucker named Guillermo or Gustavo or some shit from OC Weekly. Oh, okay. They posted the article about the fucking
Nazi kids.
the swastika kids, like doing the swastika beer pong or whatever the fuck they were doing. And I quote tweeted his tweet, like his shit got retweeted onto my timeline. I quote retweeted it because that's my whole shit, and I just gotta add commentary, you feel me? And so I was like, South County should be annexed, which I truly feel like
Newport
South
Beach.
County should be called like it should be a whole different county. It should not even be called Orange County, or let us be Santa Ana County and y'all be Orange County, right? Which was almost a thing back in the early 1900s, but that's a whole different story. Santa Ana County just didn't sound pretty enough. But anyways, that's a whole dog.
That's crazy.
No, man, I know. Yeah, but we're talking about like white people in the early 1900s. You know, like a Spanish word. Come on, dog. What the fuck?
So the basic idea was that everything south of Santa Ana is South County.
Right.
Everything above us, up before to like Brea, is like,
so like
Orange County.
Yeah, it's like so I Google mapped Santa Ana, and then so you know, like when you do Google Maps, it'll like show you the border of Santa Ana. So I like divided everything south of Santa Ana is South County, aka the shit that everybody thinks about Orange County. And then everything kind of like above Santa Ana to the left and to the right of Santa Ana, all the way up to like Brea is Orange County, and then the Brea, like La Habra,
what the fuck is it?
Like, is that LA? I don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it was a joke because anybody from Santa Ana knows that's how we view the county. But motherfuckers took that shit so serious. Like, there was like fucking all of a sudden I had every fucking geographer on my shit. Like, no,
because they thought you were talking literally.
Like you done, and the fucking thing says, this is how Santa Ana views Orange County, and people were like, no, it's actually been this way for like 40 years. And I'm like, are you from Santa Ana? Because you're not catching the whole fucking joke here. But nonetheless, like, it became this thing. It was so strange. Like, it was a joke about how Santa Ana views the rest of the county. I feel like that's pretty fucking obvious, right? And we're still gonna keep thinking that. There's Santa Ana County, and then there's other. Else, you know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers like started getting at me like, the one motherfucker Gustavo was like, this pendejo doesn't know anything about Costa Mexico. And I was like,
I saw Guadalajara.
Right? And my shorty is from La Habra, and she's like, no one has ever said that.
La Habra.
You know, and hey, and La Habra got some hoods. Ain't no question, bro. Everywhere's got some hoods. Well, not everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Newport,
but I got jumped in Huntington Beach, in like in the Slater slums.
Hey, yo, there's some like,
bro,
some like
I'm
nasty
saying,
ass
dog, right. But that wasn't my point. My point was just like, we don't give a fuck. You got hoods? We don't give a fuck. You know, and that was like, that's a common joke, right?
Yeah.
And so he took it as like, somehow took this map as like, oh, I'm saying that like everything outside of Santa Ana like is not hood, and I don't know where the fuck he got this idea.
It was taken way too like.
Oh, and then but the cute part was the way he started tagging all his homies. He was like, yeah,
check this idiot,
like, oh man, Costa Mexico, right, bro? Like this motherfucker, dog. Jeez, they were so hurt, man. It was hilarious. But nonetheless, if you go to my Instagram or go to my Twitter, you'll see this map. And yeah, I got so many people hitting me in the DMs and commenting like, bro, I've been trying to explain this shit for like 20 years. You know, like people don't understand what we mean, you know? And then they quoted this OC Weekly article I did way back when I dropped 10-4.
He said, and in his own words.
Yeah, but he took it out of context. Because the shorty that interviewed me was like, yo, when you're maneuvering through LA, how do you get over the fact that people look at Orange County as not so credible? You know what I'm saying? In the shit that I be rapping about. Yeah. And then so he took everything after that when I was like, yeah, when they ask, I don't say I'm from Orange County. And I don't. Why should I be ashamed of that? What the fuck? I'm from Santa Ana, motherfucker. You feel me? And so he was like, they were all like trying to shame me. Right? And they were like, yeah, so most people say they're from 1503 and they don't give a fuck what LA thinks. And I'm like, yeah, you took that out of context because she asked me, what do I do when LA thinks? And then secondly, nobody from Santa Ana bangs 1503. We all bang 1901. Like, what the fuck are you? You're only supporting my whole shit. There was an interesting fucking debate. And the shit, you can ask I was annoying the fuck out of my girl because we were just in the car and I was just driving and like cracking up and shit, like trying to find the best gifts that show me laughing at these motherfuckers, you know. Oh man. Whatever, they got their feelings hurt, and the only reason they got their feelings hurt is because deep down inside they want to be from Santa Ana. You know, they really want to be some Santaneros.
I mean, I gotta be real, man. Somebody tells me they're from Mission Viejo, like I don't take them seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you tell me you from Mission Viejo and you rapping on some like I pulled a 4-5 and hit you in the side, like really, like you're gonna pull out your cop dad's fucking 45 and you're gonna come after me, dog. You know what I'm saying? So like that type of shit. But nonetheless, I like the purpose of the map was not to take any sort of credibility away from anywhere, you know, whether it's LA, OC, San Diego, whatever. Everybody's got their own stories. Everybody's got their own lives. I'm just sharing a joke that comes from every kid from the streets that I come from. Exactly. Where it's like, if you know, if you from Orange County and you say you from Orange County, that's because you're not from Santa Ana. Because if you from Santa Ana, you saying you from Santa Ana. Like I didn't understand how the fuck they missed that. And they were like coming at me saying I was wrong. I'm like, I'm not giving you a fact. I'm giving you like an opinion. How am I wrong?
Exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a lot of issues with people taking opinions as facts nowadays.
For sure.
It's a bigger conversation.
Oh yeah, I mean people don't read the whole tweet before they hit the reply button.
But I think it's what he's saying though. It's the whole like it's that same misconstruction in the mental thing where it's like the hood thing.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking hood thing.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing about being hood.
Yeah,
but you know, like that's the first thing you think of. You know, when you think of the Annas.
I used to play like a lot of like club soccer and shit, like out like in Mission Viejo and stuff like that,
right.
and with these white boys and stuff. Where you from? Santa Ana. Oh shit.
Yeah, right. Ill. Right. Nasty.
I heard your story about the ill. Yeah,
man.
Girls at
those girls were bad as hell too, man. I was so sad that night, man.
Yeah. Oh, if you haven't heard the story, you and your friend talking to these girls, and you told them Santa Ana, and they were like, ill.
We was gigging with them all night, man. Me and all the homies, man. We was at I think it was called Memphis. I might be fucking that up. Yeah, but it's like near the lab.
Yeah, it's right.
We were dancing with these girls all night, and it was like old 90s night, and you know none of these motherfuckers know how to dance. Like the people around there, come on, dog, like fucking like wallflowers, right? And so we was getting off, right? And so we were so faded, we was high, we was drunk. I was probably like 22, 23. Beautiful girls, man. And so, you know, on the way out, I was like, yeah, so it's good, man. And I think this was even before, like, I don't know, I guess Instagram was kind of popping, but I was like trying to get their numbers and shit, right? Yeah. We all were. And it was, we were deep, and they were deep. I was like, yeah, where you guys from? And they're like, oh yeah, you know, we're from Costa Mesa, Newport Beach. Where are you guys from? I was like, oh, we from Santa Ana. They straight up was like, ew. I'm like, damn. Alrighty then. And didn't get the number or nothing. No, all because I'm from the nasty streets of Santa Ana.
Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for coming through.
Absolutely, bro.
That was hilarious.
No doubt, man. Thanks for having me.
Insufficient Funds, Spotify, Herschel, HRSHLL, period, dot at the end there, on Spotify as well. Get the music at JCharge on Instagram. Thank you for being here, man.
Absolutely, bro. Thanks for having me, man. It's all love. And shout out to you guys for being consistent, man. I respect it so much.
No end in sight.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Hey, Rodriguez Show hits on Radio. We'll be back with Frosty. Let's get it.